Okay. Good morning. Can you hear me? Good morning. Okay. Yes. Okay. This is our eighth lesson. Before that, last week we completely discussed about mechanical properties of matters. It's completed. This is our eighth lesson, and this is the first advanced mathematics lessons. Previously, we discussed trigonometry and area volume. They are very simple and basic mathematics lessons. And this is the first advanced. It is not too difficult, it's easy. But more than area and volume trigonometry, little bit advanced. Okay, this is a coordinate geometry. Okay, please take your notebook because with by Tute it is difficult to continue this lesson. We have to write down notes. It's, no, you don't have too much notes. Lot of parts are calculations. Not of all parts are calculations. Okay, write down the topic coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry. Okay, first, what's the meaning of coordinate geometry? What's the meaning of coordinate geometry? Do you have any idea? I think in O level time you did about y equal mx plus c, y equal ax squared plus bx plus c, different functions. Okay, they are the coordinate geometry. Give me a second. Okay, coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry mean actually in coordinate geometry lesson we mainly discussed about functions. Functions. Okay, what's the meaning of function first? What's the meaning of function? What's the meaning of function? In coordinate geometry, we mainly discussed about functions, different types of functions. Trigonometric function, it's a type of function, right? Trigonometric function. Trigonometric function. Trigonometric function. What else? Function types. What are the meaning of functions? Do you have any idea? Trigonometry is a type of function. What else? The trigonometry lesson we already completed. The trigonometry is a type of function. Samely, there is another function that's unit functions. Unit functions. Unit functions. As well as quadratic functions. Quadratic functions. Quadratic functions. Okay, what's the meaning of these functions? Actually, the coordinate geometry is the subject area mainly discussed about functions. Mainly discussed about functions and their behaviors. Functions and their behaviors. Now, what's the meaning of this function? They are the types of functions. Unit functions, quadratic functions, trigonometric functions. Do you have any idea what's the meaning of functions? What's the meaning of function? Human? What's the meaning of function? Is it a graph? No, sometimes it's a graph, yes. But function is not a graph. So You know, no. It's English meaning. I asked what is the mathematical meaning. In maths, what's the meaning? Okay, remember the function in trigonometry function. Now you already know trigonometry function. In trigonometry functions, we discuss relationship between sides of a triangle, right? The relationship between, if you got sine, think it is the theta, and if you got sine, the relationship between opposite and hypotenuse, right? Opposite and hypotenuse. The relationship between opposite and hypotenuse. Okay, that's the meaning of opposite and hypotenuse. That's the meaning of sine trigonometric function. Okay, now you can understand function mean, what's the meaning? Function mean any relationship between two or more factors. In mathematically, function is a relationship between two or more factors. Understood? The function is a relationship. It can be two factors or more than two factors. Remember, the function is a relationship between two or more factors. Two or more factors relationship. Okay, that's mainly the meaning of the function. Okay, in this lesson, the coordinate geometry is the main area of mathematics discussed about functions. Now, trigonometric functions we already discussed in the trigonometric lesson. Therefore, in this lesson, we mainly discussed about unit functions and quadratic functions. Unit functions and quadratic functions are the parts we discussed in this coordinate geometry lesson. Understood the basic background? The coordinate geometry is a subject area discussed about functions. What's the meaning of functions? Functions mean relationship between two or more than two factors. Relationship between two or more than two factors. Okay, they are the examples for functions. Trigonometric functions we already discussed. In this coordinate geometry lesson, we mainly discussed about unit functions and quadratic functions. Unit functions and quadratic functions. Understood? Vihanga? Yes, it's a very interesting lesson. No more notes. You don't need to remember this theory definitions. Only need to practice mathematical concept. Okay, let's note down very small note. Okay, write down. The coordinate geometry is the, write down first point, the coordinate geometry is the main subject area. The coordinate geometry is the main subject area. Discuss about the functions. Discussed about the functions. Discussed about the functions. Next star mark. Next star mark. The relationship between two or more than two factors. The relationship between two or more than two factors called as a function. Called as a function. The relationship between two or more factors are called as a functions. Are called as a functions. Examples: trigonometry functions, unit functions and quadratic functions. Trigonometric functions, unit functions, and quadratic functions. Okay, stop writing. Write down examples, trigonometric functions, unit functions, and quadratic functions, and stop writing. Okay. As I explained earlier, in this coordinate geometry lesson, we mainly discussed about two main function types. Two main function types. In coordinate geometry, mainly discussed about two main function types. Two main function types. Okay, what are the types? Unit functions and quadratic functions. Unit functions and quadratic functions. Quadratic functions. Quadratic functions. Unit functions and quadratic functions. Okay. Do you have any idea what's the meaning of unit functions? Unit functions. Do you have any idea what's the meaning of unit functions? Unit functions mean the relationship of straight line on a Cartesian plane. Okay, if you got this type Cartesian plane, what is this axis? X or Y? The horizontal axis of the Cartesian plane? X or Y? It is X axis. Very good. It's X axis. What is this vertical axis? Y axis. Very good. Okay, if you got any straight line on Cartesian plane, its relationship we called as unit functions. The relationship between x and y axis. See, if you got any point on this straight line, the relationship between x and y, actually coordinates, we called as coordinates. They called as coordinate. Okay. In unit functions, we mainly discussed about coordinates of straight lines. Coordinates of straight lines. Coordinate of straight lines. Okay. Next, what's the meaning of quadratic functions? In quadratic functions, we mainly discussed about parabolic shapes. What's the meaning of parabolic shape? Think it is x-axis and this y-axis. They are the parabolic shapes. The relationship of parabolic graphs like this. Parabolic shapes. Curve shapes. This shape we called as maximum quadratic functions. They are minimum quadratic functions. Minimum quadratic functions. Okay. One by one I will explain. Okay. That's a basic background of the lesson. In unit functions, we mainly discussed about what? Straight lines, relationship of straight lines. In quadratic functions, we mainly discussed about relationship of parabolic shapes. Parabolic shapes. Parabolic shapes. Okay. For your better understand, I will I'll give you summary of this lesson. Summary of each part. Then one by one we can complete. One by one topic we can complete each part. Okay. Under unit functions, our first topic, Cartesian plane. Our first topic we're discussing about. Now we are starting from Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane. Okay, our second topic, coordinates on a Cartesian plane. Coordinates on a Cartesian plane. Coordinates on Cartesian plane. Coordinates on Cartesian plane. Our third point, our third topic actually, subtopic, distance between two points on a Cartesian plane. Distance between 2 points on a Cartesian plane. Distance between 2 points on a Cartesian plane. The actual meaning, the length of a straight line. If you got distance between, think it is A and it is B. If you got the distance between these A and B, the distance between these A and B mean actually what's the meaning? The length of this straight line. AB straight line length. Okay. In the lesson I will explain. Okay, that's a summary. It's a very interesting and very important lesson because in exam, lot of essay questions came from this part. Lot of essay questions. Okay, after lesson I will discuss all these exam questions as well. Okay, distance between 2 points on a Cartesian plane. If you got P and Q 2 points, we can get the distance. That means PQ straight line length. Okay. Fourth topic, the midpoint coordinates of straight line. Okay, first one, previous one, the length of the straight line. This final fourth one is third one is the length of a straight line. How to get the length of any straight line on a Cartesian plane. The fourth topic is that how to get the midpoint coordinates of a straight line. SL means straight line, not straight line. Straight line. The midpoint coordinates of straight line. Fifth one, ratio points. Ratio point coordinates. Ratio point coordinates of straight line. The ratio point coordinates of straight lines. Okay, I will explain ratio points in the particular topic. Okay, sixth one. This lesson very important. This unit functions very important. If you got exam questions, essay question approximate 90% of the question based on unit functions. Very small number of questions coming for quadratic functions. Therefore, this unit functions very important to understand A to Z full idea, 100% idea. It's not a theory lesson. You don't need to by heart and you can't do this way. You have to practice again and again these equations. I will explain with kind of equations and easy methods, shortcut methods to find these methods, find these answers. Then you can practice these answers, practice these methods. Okay, ratio point coordinates of straight lines. 6. The equation of the equation of straight line. Straight line. The equation of straight line. The equation. You already know, I think, what's the equation, what's the common equation of straight line? Sadev, what's the common equation of straight line? What's the common equation of straight line? Do you know? Then y equal mx plus c. Yes, that's the meaning of the equation of straight line. Okay, in details, 100% A to Z discussion and points you need to understand in this equation of straight line. Okay, everything I will explain. Okay, final one, seventh topic, couple of straight lines. Straight line couples. What's the meaning of couple? Couple of straight lines. Couple of straight lines. Couple of straight lines. Couples mean two straight lines. Mainly two couples. Horizontal couples, sorry, parallel couple of straight lines and perpendicular couple of straight lines. Okay. In lesson we can discuss. Okay, write down unit functions summary and subtopics. Medium-Tharaka unit functions completed. Okay, first write down unit function part. Draw this type chart. Okay, complete. Okay, let's move into quadratic function. Let's move into quadratic functions. What we discussed in the quadratic functions. The first one, common equation of straight line. Sorry, common equation of quadratic function. Common equation. Common equation of quadratic functions. QF mean quadratic function. The common equation of quadratic function. This is the first topic of the quadratic function part. The common equation of the quadratic functions. The second one, parts of the equation. Parts of the equation. That's the second topic. Parts of the equation. What are the parts of the equations? One by one, classify it into three parts. Okay, I will explain what are the names of them. There are different constant and variable both in this equation. Do you know what's a common equation for quadratic functions? What's a common equation for quadratic functions? Do you know? Yeah, the common equation for unit functions for straight lines, it is y equal mx plus c. What's the common equation for quadratic functions? Do you know? Do you know? Remember, for unit functions, it is y equal mx plus c is the common equation. For quadratic functions, for quadratic functions, what's the equation? Previously, I told y equal ax squared plus bx plus c is the common equation. Okay, don't need to write down. Okay, only understand the difference. This is a straight line common equation. This is a parabolic quadratic function common equation. Okay, third one, turning point coordinates. Turning point coordinates. TP means turning point coordinates of quadratic function. Turning point coordinates of quadratic function. Turning point coordinates of quadratic functions. Turning point coordinates. Okay, that's a very important point. Turning point coordinates. Okay, I'll explain in the lesson. Okay, final one. Turning point after turning point coordinates. X-axis cutting points calculation. X-axis cutting points calculation. X-axis cutting point calculation. X-axis cutting point calculation. X-axis cutting point calculation. Final one. Sketch unknown quadratic function. Sketch the shape of Kirda. Sketch the shape of unknown quadratic function. Okay, that's the final ultimate target of the lesson in quadratic function part. Sketch the shape of unknown quadratic function. Sketch the shape of unknown quadratic functions. Okay, note down for quadratic function summary. The first and common equation of quadratic function, part of the quadratic equation, turning point coordinates of the quadratic function, x-axis cutting point of the x-axis cutting point calculation, and finally sketch the shape of the quadratic function. Okay, that's the ultimate target of this lesson. Okay, clearly note down. Complete. What's the meaning of THX? Uh, yeah, yeah. Couple of straight lines. Couple of straight lines. Yeah, I'll read again. Cartesian plane, coordinates on Cartesian plane, distance between 2 points on the Cartesian plane, the midpoint coordinates of straight line, ratio point coordinates of straight line, the equation of straight line, and couple of straight lines. In quadratic functions, common equation of quadratic function, part of the quadratic functions, turning point coordinates of quadratic functions, x-axis cutting point of the quadratic function, sketch the shape of quadratic functions. Let's start the lesson now. Okay, this is actual lesson starting from this point. Okay, write down the topic unit functions. Unit functions. Write down the topic unit functions. The first topic unit functions. Unit functions. Unit functions. Unit functions. Okay, write down with star mark. The area which discuss about the relationship of a straight line, the relationship of straight lines, the relationship of straight lines, the area which discuss about the relationship of straight lines called as unit functions, called as unit functions, called as unit functions. Unit functions. Okay, write down the first topic under unit functions. Write down the first topic Cartesian plane. Instant. Cartesian plane. Okay, this is the first topic under unit functions. Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane. Okay. I think you already know what's the meaning of Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane. This is the Cartesian plane. Okay, that we call the vertical line is the y-axis and horizontal line is the x-axis. X-axis. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. What is the name of this intersecting point? X and y-axis intersecting point. What's the name? What's the name of this intersecting point? That's if you got the coordinate of this intersecting point, it is 0 to 0, comma 0. X and y both values 0. What do you think? What's the name of this cutting point or intersecting point of x and y axis? Yeah, origin. No, not the origin. That is called as initial point because both x and y coordinates starting from this point. It is 0 to 0. That's why we call it as initial point. Initial point. Initial point. Initial point. The x and y axis intersecting point we called as it is coordinate 0 to 0, 0 comma 0, 0 comma 0 or 0, 0 the method. That we called as initial point. Initial point. Initial point. Its coordinate 0. That's why we call as its coordinate 0. Okay, if you got the x-axis right side direction, x-axis horizontal line, x-axis right side direction, what happened? Plus or minus values that we called as x-axis right side direction is the x-axis positive direction. Remember, it is increasing positive numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increasing positive numbers. Increasing positive numbers. What happened to the left side direction? Left side direction, increasing or decreasing? It's negative numbers. Are they increasing or decreasing? What do you think? Negative numbers increasing or decreasing? In left side direction? Binu? Negative numbers in left side, negative numbers, it's correct. Are they increasing or decreasing? Very good. They are decreasing. The number increasing, but its value is decreasing. The value is decreasing. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Let's continue. And the positive side also continue. Part of Cartesian plane I have drawn here. Okay. Samely, this is a y-axis. The vertical line is a y-axis, and this is the positive side of the y-axis. It is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the negative side of the y-axis, -3, -4. Please name this is the initial point and name this is a positive side of x-axis. This is the positive side of x-axis. This is the positive side of y-axis. This is a negative side of x-axis, minus side of x-axis. This is a minus side of, negative side of y-axis. Okay. Clearly draw this Cartesian plane and name these parts of the Cartesian plane. Okay, complete. Okay, that's all about Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane. Okay, go to the next topic. Coordinates on the Cartesian plane. 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 Okay. Coordinates on the Cartesian plane. Coordinates on the Cartesian plane. Now, as I explained earlier, this is a Cartesian plane. This is a Cartesian plane. This x-axis and this is a y-axis, and this is the initial point 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. -1, -2, -3, -4. -1, -2, -3, -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if I got any point, on this Cartesian plane, okay, if I got this point, okay, how to write the coordinate of this point? Think it is A point. How to write the coordinate of this A point? Do you know how to write the coordinates? What is the coordinates of A points? What is the coordinate of A point? Remember, when you write coordinates, always this is the schedule. This is the order. This is the order. First, you have to write x axis value, comma y axis value. That's the order. That's how find any point on the Cartesian plane. The first value always x axis value. The first value is the x axis value. Now you can see the A point coordinates are 3, 2 is the coordinates of A point. Okay, now can you send me what is the coordinate of this B point? What's the coordinate of B point? Afzal, what's the coordinate of B point? What's the coordinate of B point? Vihanga, okay. Sadev, first x value, second y value. Yes, very good. Yeah, all are correct. The coordinates of B point 2, -3. 2, -3 is the coordinate of B point. Okay, if you got this point, what's the coordinate? Think it is C point. What's the coordinate of C point? What are the coordinates? Yes, first x value means x axis value. That's the meaning of x value. -4, comma, is it +2 or -2? -2. You may. Very good, +2. -2. -2. Yes, correct. -2. -4, -2. X value, comma, y value. That's the method. Write coordinates for any point on the Cartesian plane. That's the method. Write coordinates for any point on the Cartesian plane. Okay. Draw this again and write down these points and draw the coordinates for this D point. Write down coordinates for D point. Okay, complete. Okay, what's the D point coordinates? Yes, -2. X point coordinates -2. Remember the order. X value, comma, Y value. X axis value, comma, Y axis value. -3. Sorry, +3. +2. -2, comma, +3. Okay, that's the method. Write coordinates of any point on the Cartesian plane. That's the method. X value, comma, Y value is the order. X value, comma, Y value is the order. Okay, no need you may notes. Only concept you need to understand. Okay, let's move into next topic. Write down distance between 2 points on Cartesian plane. The distance between 2 points on Cartesian plane. The distance between 2 points on Cartesian plane. Okay, sorry. My laptop was stuck. Now, okay, a minute. Both clear, right? Yes. Hi. Okay, very important topic. The distance between 2 points on 2 points on Cartesian plane. 2 points on Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane. Or write down within bracket the length of straight lines. It is equal to the length of straight line. The distance between 2 points on Cartesian plane within bracket the length of straight line. The length of straight line. Okay, the length of straight line. How to calculate the length of straight line on any Cartesian plane? Okay, I'll draw a Cartesian plane first. It is the x-axis and y-axis. One, two, three, four, five. -1, -2, -3, -4. -1, -2, -3, -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I am going to very simple straight line. Okay, this is, think this is a point. The initial point is a point, 0 point, 0, 0 point. And this is the B point. This is a B point. It's a B point. This is a B point. This is a B point. Okay, now if you got straight line or distance between A and B, if you got AB straight line or distance between A and B, both same, AB straight line or distance between A and B, distance between A and B points, A and B points. Okay, do you have any methods to calculate this length or calculate this distance A and B? This blue color line length, do you have, can you find any method using previous knowledge, O level, and can you find any method? Trigonometric ratios, do you know any angle? Do you know any angle? Yes, we can use Pythagoras theorem. See, now think it is a right angle triangle. It's a right angle triangle. Now, what is the length of this side? What is the length of this side? 0 to 3. It's 3 units. 0 to 3. It's 3 units. Okay, what's the length of this side? It's 4. It's 4. 4. 4. Okay, now you can find, think AB squared equal, what is the equation? AB squared equal 3 squared plus 4 squared. Then AB equal 3 squared plus 4 squared 25, 25 square root. 25 square root, AB equal 5 units. 5 units. 5 units. AB equal 5 units. AB equal 5 units. Then it is 5. Understood? It is 5. Sadev? Okay, but okay, now if you got the coordinates of B point, how about coordinates of B point? A point 0, 0. A point 0, 0. B point 4, 3. 4, 3. 4, 3 is a coordinate. Okay. Now, sorry. Okay, now this is a method. You can use Pythagoras theorem, basic Pythagoras theorem concept to find the length or distance between any point, any 2 points on the Cartesian plane. But the problem in this method, each time you have to draw this straight line and it's very difficult process. No, it's time taking process. Okay, therefore, I will explain a short method to get this length between or distance between any 2 points. Okay, we have very short methods. Okay, well, AB, I want to get AB distance. AB equal x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared square root. The same concept. Now think AB coordinate 0, 0, 0, 0. Now, what's the meaning of x2 minus x1? X2 minus x1, think this is the x2, this is x1. X2 minus x1, x2 4 minus 0, it's square, the answer square, plus y2 minus y1, y2 3, 3 minus 0, 3 minus 0 squared, square root. 3 minus square root. Okay, then 4 squared 16, 3 squared 9 square root, it's 5. Then AB equal 5. No need Pythagoras theorem again. Okay, the equation මේ equation එක හදලා තියෙන්නේ Pythagoras theorem එකෙන් තමයි, but again and again we don't need to draw Cartesian plane and no need to find lengths. Okay, just if you know coordinates of two ends of any straight line, two coordinates, you can use this basic equation, the conceptual equation, and get these values. Understood? Okay, what's the equation? AB or any distance equal x2 minus x1. That means x coordinate different squared plus y coordinate different squared complete square root. X coordinate different squared plus y coordinate different squared complete square root. Make a link. Only Cartesian plane and this straight line. Okay, complete drawing. Next, write down star mark. Write down with star mark the length of AB, the length of AB calculation using Pythagoras theorem. The length of AB, the length of AB calculation using Pythagoras theorem, and write down this part. Write down this box. Pythagoras theorem. Finally, write down the short method, the short method, the short method, and write down this. Okay, complete. It's not five, only five, it's 5 units. You have to mention 5 units. 5 units. 5 units. What's the meaning of 5 units? මොකද මේ 5 units කියලා දාන්නේ අය? Jimit, do you have idea? What's the meaning of 5 units? The value 5. Okay, remember, if you got this horizontal axis of this triangle, it's 4 unit. Remember, 1 unit means the gap between these two numbers. 1 unit, 2 units, 3 unit, 4 units. That's why we call it is 4 units. 4 units. It's 3 units. 3 units. එහෙනම් ඒ වගේ gaps කීයක්ද මේක? It's 5 gaps. 5 units. 5 units. Like this. Understood? Five unit. End of this month, you have again exam. 3-hour exam. Including mechanical properties of matters as well. Mechanical properties of matters, I will give you homework from last week lesson. This is 2021 exam paper. You can try question number 9, C part. It's a good question. This is a homework from last week lesson. C part, 2021, question number 9, part C. Essay question number 9, part C. It's a height question. A and B part still you can't complete because it is based on Bernoulli's theorem, fluid mechanism and Bernoulli's theorem. But C part you can complete. It's based on mechanical properties of matters. හරි කරලා බලන්න exam එකේ මොනවද අහලා තියෙන්නේ. You can send me answers. It's only 4 parts. You can send me answers. I'll take and let you know. 2021 essay question number 9, part C. Okay, complete. Complete. Okay. Exercise number 1. Exercise number 1. It's AB straight line. Now it is 4 minus 8. Sorry, 4 comma 8, 12 comma 3. Okay, can you calculate the length of this AB straight line or the distance between AB points? Question part number 1. Okay, can you calculate? Now you can use short methods. Don't need to write on a Cartesian plane. Okay, what's the length or distance between A and B? Okay, I'll help you for first one. Okay, what's the length? Others, only two answers. Balam, what's the method? AB equal x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared square root. Square root. Oh, different answers. How to change your answers? Behavior? Okay. Now, what's the meaning of 12 minus 4? 12 minus 4 squared plus 3 minus 4. Sorry. 12 minus 4, 3 minus 8 squared. Square root. 12 minus 4, it is 8. 8 squared, 64. Plus 3 minus 8, it is minus 5. Minus 5. Minus 5 squared, 25. 25 plus. Okay. Now what happened? 24 plus 24. Sorry, 64 plus 25. 64 plus 25. 89. 89 square root. It is 9.43. 9.43. 9.43 units. 9.43 units. Dinul, what happened? I know your mistake. Okay, this is a mistake කරන්න බෑ. හරිද? This is a method. Think this is the x1. x1, comma, this is x1. This is a y1. First y value. First y coordinate. This is the x2 and this is a y2. හරිද? Okay. If you got 8 x2 minus x1, x2 minus x1 means 12 minus 3 into this direction. 12 minus 4, sorry, 12 minus 4 into left side direction, right? x2 minus x1. Again, you can't use 8 minus 3. It is x1, sorry, y1 minus y2. That's wrong. I think this is a mistake. It's not 8 minus 3. It's 3 minus 8 always. 3 minus 8 always. Understood? y2 minus y1. Okay. Let's practice another. It's P point and Q point. P point, what happened? Q point. P point coordinates are -2, 12. Q point coordinates are 8, -10. Okay, that's the second exercise. Can you get the length between P and Q, or the length of straight line of PQ? Please make sure to get into same direction. You can't change the direction because x2 minus x1 ගත්තොත් අනිත් එක ගන්නකොට y2 minus y1. You can't change the direction. That's the rule. Okay, what's the length? What's the length between P and Q? Okay, What's the equation? PQ equal x2 minus x1. That's mean x coordinate difference squared plus y2 minus y1. Y coordinate difference squared full square root. Full square root is the length of PQ. Okay. How to get this? 8 minus, you have to be careful now. 8 minus 2 or 8 minus minus 2. 8 minus 2 because it is minus 2. 8 minus minus 2 square. 8 minus minus 2 square plus you get into this direction. Now say you have to follow same direction. Minus 10 minus 12. Minus 10 minus 12 square root. Now 8 minus minus what happened? Minus minus it is plus. 8 plus 2 it is 10 squared 100 plus minus 10 minus 12 means minus 22. Minus 22 what is the square root? Minus 22. Minus 22 means 22 squared 484 square root. 584. 584 square root. 24.16 units. 24.16 unit. Adinul again you did mistake. What happened? I think metana වැරදිලා. Yeah, minus calculations you have to practice now. If not sure, you can use calculators, no? Make a ගහලා බලන්න minus 10 minus 12 mean minus 22, not minus 2. Yes, it is minus 10. You met? Got? Vihanga? Okay. Third one. Third one. S and R. S coordinates minus 18 minus 6. R coordinates minus 2 comma 40. Okay, this is question number 3. Calculate the length between S and R, or the distance between S and R. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let's try. Are you sure? Yeah, different answers. Okay, how to get this S and R? No? The distance between S and R. What is the method? X2 minus x1. Please practice this equation. X2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared square root. X2 minus x1 mean minus 2 minus, remember how to apply these values, substitute these values, minus 2 minus minus 80, minus 2 minus minus 80 square plus 14 minus minus 6, 14 minus minus 6 squared and square root. Okay, now minus 2 minus minus what happened? Plus. Then minus 2 plus 18. It is 60. 16 square. 16 square. Plus 14 minus minus 6 mean it is minus minus plus 20 square. 20 square. 20 square square root. Okay, 16 square. 16 square. What's the value of 16 square? 256. 20 squared 400. 400 656 square root. 25.61. 61 units. Twenty. Yeah. Vihinga, what happened? Yeah, forgot to scare. Yeah, that's why you want to practice. Okay, next one. Okay, let's practice. Final one. Fourth one. Minus 5 comma 12. Q coordinates 17 comma minus 30. Okay. 33.3, yes. Yeah. Sadhu, what's the length? P and Q. PQ equal x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, square root. X2 minus x1 my 17 minus minus 5. 17 minus minus 5. It's plus now. Squared. Plus y2 minus y1 minus 13. Minus 13 minus 12. Squared. Square root. 17 minus minus 5 means 17 plus 5, 22. 22 squared. 22 squared. What's 22 squared? $484. Right. 484 plus 13 minus, sorry, minus 13 minus 12, it is 25. 25. 25 squared. Minus 25 squared, minus minus it plus 25 squared. 625. Yes. 625. Okay, get the 9. 1109 square root. 1109. Wait, I will get my calculator. Yes, 33.3. Good. 33.3. 33.3. Good. Okay, all are correct. Okay, that's the first part actually. The still we are in the how many topics we discussed? Yeah, up to this, up to first 3 topics discussed. Only first 3 topics. First one, second one, third one discussed. We have another 4 subtopics in unit functions, and we have another 5 subtopic in quadratic functions. Overall, 3 plus 5, 8 subtopics. Only discussed 3 subtopics today. Okay, let's try to complete at least remain 4 subtopics of the unit functions next week. Then easily within one day we can complete quadratic functions. Quadratic functions easy. The unit function is the most important. Unit function is very important. Okay, today we discussed Cartesian plane and coordinates on Cartesian plane and how to get distance between any 2 points on Cartesian plane. Okay, that's only we discussed today. Please practice. I will give you homework, one question. One homework question. Minus 17 comma plus 18. M point coordinates minus 12 comma minus 4. Okay, this is homework. You can practice the length of LM straight line length. The length of LM. Okay, it's a very easy lesson. No need to write down more. No need to by heart to remember theory. Only you need to remember equations and concept and practice this type calculations. Okay, finally, after complete this lesson, we can discuss all exam questions, exam essay questions and model paper questions and complete this lesson. And complete the homework question in last week lesson. 2021, you have two homework. This is the first homework. And the second homework, 2021, essay question 9, part C. I will check and let you know. Okay, do you have any doubt? From today's lesson? Okay, today we did the basic, very easy parts, but next week very important. Next week we discussed about equation of straight lines, couple of straight lines. They are very important. But next week lesson very important. Okay, then let's meet next Sunday. And you have exam final week of this month. Okay, goodbye.